Ichigo has improved rapidly in the short time he's been training. Compared to the average Soul Reaper, his pace has been astonishing. But that improvement only applies to his combat skills. His spirit energy hasn't increased much at all. At this rate, can he truly master Bankai in 2 more days? Should I extend his training further? It might be something to consider. In the time since we got here, we've come to learn that the timing of Rukia's execution was cut by 5 days to 25. So that means that even after 3 days of training, we'll still have another 8 days to spare. Since that's the case, extending his training is more than possible. But should I? That's the real question. It took Kisuke 3 days for him to be able to achieve Bankai, and he was of the mind that spending any longer on it would actually prove to be dangerous. I'm not sure about Ichigo's Konpaku. I'm not entirely confident that it can withstand the extra days of training. I know. I'll give it 1 more day. If there's no change in his spirit energy in that time, I'll just have to take the risk.
Rukia Kuchiki, it's about the day of your execution. You see, it's been changed once again. The execution will be tomorrow.
The execution is tomorrow? But before the execution arrives, I'll make a request. I'll ask them to return Ichigo and the others safely to the world of the living. I am from the Kuchiki clan after all. Given that, they just might honor my request. The execution is tomorrow. It came as a shock to me, of course. But strangely, I wasn't sad. It must be because of the dream I had last night. It must be because of my dream about the night that I'll never be able to forget. Lieutenant! Kaien! 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 That memory, it's one from when I'd just become a Soul Reaper. A memory of days long past. After I was adopted into the Kuchiki clan, I was given special treatment, and I was allowed to enlist in Squad 13. The other squad members almost immediately singled me out and became cold. They began to distance themselves from me, except one. The only person who made me feel like I belonged was none other than Kaien Shiba. He was Squad 13's lieutenant. He was also my immediate superior. It was an ordinary greeting, an ordinary chewing out, an ordinary relationship between superior and subordinate. But ordinary was exactly what I wanted. It's what I'd been searching for. It felt nice, just being around him. It made me feel so comfortable. But regrettably, those ordinary pleasant days didn't last long. Soon enough, they were brought to a very abrupt end. It all started when a hollow recon mission went awry. We'd received the dreadful and unexpected news that Kaien's wife, Miyako, had tragically been slain by an enemy hollow. Kaien volunteered for the combat squad to go after the hollow that had killed his wife. Captain Ukitage and I both joined him. We made our way to the Mystery Hollow's nest.
Captain, please, sir, let me go alone.
Even now, I remain full of questions about that day. Why didn't I try to stop him? Why didn't I try to do more? Our foe's capabilities were unknown, and yet we set off to face it alone. We knew it was extremely dangerous right from the start. But Captain Ukitage didn't stop Kaien, nor did he move to assist him.
Listen, and remember this well. There are 2 kinds of battles. Each time that we seek to engage in a fight, we must understand its true nature. whether it's a battle to protect life, or a battle to defend honor.
But then... Kaien? Sir?
What's that? Did you just call my name, little girl?
I soon discovered that the Kaien I called out to was no longer the Kaien that I once knew so well. That hollow. It possessed the ability to take over another person's body. It did so by fusing the spiritual entity with that of the other.
Run, Rukia. Go on, get out of here! Do you want to die?
When I heard the sound of Captain Ukitake's voice, I simply fled. Why, I asked myself, why is this happening? Lieutenant Kaien! But before I realized what I was doing, I had returned to face it again. Of course, I had no plan in mind at all. Deep down, I knew that I couldn't just give up and run away. I knew I had to do whatever I could to try and save the lieutenant.
Kill him! Do it! He isn't Kaien anymore!
From that point onward, my memories aren't very clear. I knew that when I came to, my Zanpakuto toe was embedded in Kaien's chest. His form slumped over my shoulder.
Captain, thank you very much. I appreciate you allowing me to fight. Rukia, I owe you an apology. I'm sorry that I ever got you into this mess. You must have been scared. Thank you. I'm grateful. Because now, I can leave my heart behind.
No. There's nothing to thank me for. Nothing at all. I ran away because I was afraid to fight against you. The fact is, the only reason that I came back is because I couldn't stand my own cowardice. I only used my blade because I couldn't bear it any longer. I couldn't stand to see you suffer. I did it all out of selfishness. I did it for myself. I'm pathetic. So pathetic. I don't deserve anything at all. I'm not worth saving. I'm not worth shedding any blood over. I'm not worth anything.
Byakuya! We have a problem. Rukia's execution has...
I know. The Hell Butterfly informed me about it just a short while ago. So, what then? What of it?
What?
The execution is tomorrow. If that is the decision, then I have no choice but to accept it. Don't bother me with such petty matters. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Why, you're heartless! Didn't you hear what I said? Doesn't it mean anything to you? It's tomorrow! Tomorrow! By noon tomorrow, your very own sister will be...
Get a hold of yourself. You're going to shorten your life, Jushiro. Once you've allowed one of your people to die, frankly, 2 or 3 more really don't make any difference. In any case, she's a member of my family. It really has nothing to do with you. It's not your concern whether she lives or dies. Please don't do anything foolish.
What would you have done differently in this situation? Would you have attacked Byakuya and kicked him a few times, perhaps? The lone captain making a fuss won't do anything to sway the tribunal. So instead, would you have been so bold as to actually attempt to save Rukia? No, most likely you wouldn't have done either of those things. It seems to me that whenever you were faced with a decision, You always chose the path of greatest peril. Isn't that right, Kaien?